Talanoa Hufanga is a fan favorite. People love him. And I understand why. He's a lot of fun to watch. And
No.
he's another one of these late round picks that looks like might work out. The Niners seem to have more success in rounds 5 and 6 than 1 and 2. I don't know. What did you think of his first career start?
So here's the way I see it. I think he can work out if the 49ers use him in very specific ways. And I think what also goes in his favor that he is a fan favorite. So it's in the 49ers' best interest to not expose him in certain particular spots that, he might struggle in because he does have athletic limitations. The two things he has going for him, in my opinion, is he hits. Like he arrives and he's a very clean and sure tackler, and he's got amazing instincts and feel to get himself around the ball.
Hmm.
And I think you do see those two things, especially when he's playing with a Jimmy Ward, a safety that you can put in man, you can put in zone, you can do whatever with. So you can kind of allow Hufanga to blitz, you can allow Hufanga
Hmm.
to fit the run closer to the ball and do stuff like that, things
He
like
does
that.
hit hard. You
That
notice that when you're there in person, right? Like
wow,
he does. And
wow,
one other thing that you noticed, or that I noticed when I'm in person, is the all-pro middle linebacker who's just at the top of his game. That's not what he does. So it's
yeah.
it's it's nice to have that element in the defense, especially if you're not getting it from the middle linebacker.
It was the first thing that stood out to me because I did obviously like this is my first time being able to watch Fred Warner. I'm going to be
Mhm.
able to watch him next week because I'm coming to the game in Santa Clara. Unfortunately, I can't watch Kyler Murray, it seems, but um, Fred
Colt
Warner
McCoy.
stands out in Fred Warner stands at Colt McCoy versus Jimmy G,
It's
exactly what I
reminded
was
me of.
looking for.
Yeah,
But
it's good.
um, um, he stands out in a lot of different ways, right? There's a lot of things that are clearly special about Fred Warner. But the one thing that I did notice is that he doesn't shoot gaps with the same physicality and speed that, I've seen Navarro Bowman once, and he was a little bit
Bowman
different.
and Willis would get in the backfield a lot. They weren't
Right.
just sideline to sideline coverage guys. And
But
I'm not saying
Hufanga,
that's just what Warner is, but definitely he was a safety in college. I mean,
that's the one
yes.
difference, right?
Yeah,
That's the one thing he does maybe less than the other great linebackers in football, but he's still one of the best. He's playing
he
like
is.
one of the
He
best.
is.
Hufanga, on the other hand, he arrives with a
Yup.
presence, a physicality, a speed. I think he can be really good. I'm interested to see how the rest of the season goes for him because I think him and Tavon Wilson could be put in a lot of bad spots. And I think the worst case scenario for him is I think two things are the worst case scenario for him. One would be, him being put in bad spots and then people immediately just giving up on him because
True.
I don't think that's
That kind of happened to
true. I
Lenore.
think he's a good
He
player. And
had
I do think
buzz,
he's
gave up a few big plays, and never see him again.
right, and I think Hufanga's a starting caliber safety. I do, especially if he plays with a guy like Ward. The other bad thing for him would be for it to go the opposite, the Colbert route, where people see these splash plays and immediately anoint him without realizing what his skill set is. The Niners go into a season thinking that he's their starting safety and make him do everything that Jimmy Ward and Tart do, and then you realize through camp in week one, like, oh crap, he can't do all those things.
Yeah.
And you see Christian Kirk and Josh Rosen connecting for a 75-yard touchdown over Colbert's head. So I think both of those things are the worst case scenario. But I mean that play still bothers me. That's why I brought it up.
Well, that
But
was it for
um,
Colbert in Santa Clara. That was pretty much the
right.
end. Yeah.
I think both of
Right.
those things are an issue in their own way, but I think he's a starting caliber safety for sure, and I'm excited to see how he does with Tavon Wilson. But why not be excited? There's not a lot to be excited about. Elijah Mitchell looked fantastic yesterday. That's the best I've ever seen him play. But
That's
he's
the
the
next
other guy
topic.
to be
Let's
excited
get to
about.
him. I'm sorry if you hear me mimicking you every once in a while. It's the only way I'm going to get this down. Is to mimic, because that's how I got the Brooklyn one down for my dad. It's just too. It's very subtle. Basically, Chicago people talk like middle American people, like just normal Americans, except there's those two vowels, the I's and the A's. And every time I hear it, I'm like, what is that? That is
Do
so
I have the accent?
different. Yes, not the A so much, but the I. You got the I just like Garoppolo. It's a tight end, not a tight end. It's like I feel like Californians are much lazier with their mouth when they say tight. It's a big
Tight,
I. Chicago's it's a tight like
tight
your
end,
it's a tight
tight
end.
end.
It's a tight end.